Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. We are at China, and it is a wet sprint quali. Looks like MS3 and Half-Baked Honda are out, and they are sliding already. So already they're going to be struggling. The track looks absolutely soaked right now. There's a lot of spray coming off of those tires. They're both just very, very easy on the throttle at the moment. This is sprint quali, so could we see a wet sprint race? Right, track is about to get really, really busy because everybody's coming out. 9.5 minutes of quali. Going to be just over 9 minutes by the time they actually get out. By the time they actually get out there onto their first flying lap, and on board with the Red Bull of MS3 for the first flying lap. Oh, and KB's crashed out already on the outlap. Oh, that is horrible. Not a good start for him. And not a good start for Red Bull either, because he's the other Red Bull driver. We're on board with his teammate right now. And a lot of wheel spin there for MS3. The track is seriously wet right now. It's gonna be just about getting around the track at this rate. Look at that, they're virtually using no battery at all. Just tippy-toeing around the track right now. And MS3 almost loses it right there in the banking. The V-carb of half-baked Honda, how was it for him? Oh, really, really struggling with tire locks. He's actually missed the apex there. And MS3 with a 48.9. Oh, big slide, and half-baked Honda lost it in the final turn. And that will probably invalidate the lap. No, it won't. No advantage gained, apparently. The second of the V-carbs now. He's just starting a lap. Where's Sammy? Sammy's been brave. He's on the inters. Showing wets, but he's clearly on the inters. Oh, look at that big slide right there. Actually, very interested to see how this turns out for him. I think it's too wet for inters. Newell with a 150. MJ Roller's now done a 47.69. Sammy might be able to get a bit more pace down the straights on those inters, but I think he'll struggle in the corners. And Gears now with a 46.9. McJammy with a 45.6. Surprisingly, Gears on the inters. What can Sammy do on them? And Sammy's actually gone up to P4. It's not bad. Combines on a hot lap. He's on the full wets as well. Everybody's basically got one more run. So if they want to come in, get fresh tyres or change over to the intermediate, those at least who were on wets, or vice versa maybe. Kogo, Axel, and Data all still yet to set a lap. It should be fair, Axel and Kogo still in the pits. So there is the 5-minute mark now. You can just hear the tires struggling. It looks like Meowsy's got provisional pole by over a second. It's actually 1.3 seconds that he's got it by. Now, can anybody do anything about that? Half-baked Honda's actually up to 8, so a fairly solid effort from him on that second lap. And Combine's actually gone up to P3, so that's a very solid effort. Sammy up to P4. MS3 coming across the line now. Improved time, but not an improved position. And that's halfback Honda into the 48s. He might still be on a hot lap. We've got 3 minutes to go, just over. And Data now with a 46.8 up into P2 in that Aston Martin. Look at the wheel work from half-baked Honda at the moment. He's really ringing that thing, really trying to get maximum time out of it. You can see all the adjustments in the wheel. He'll have to come in, and this will be his final lap of the session. And McJammy down to a 44.2. That's over a 2-second gap now. I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch him in the sprint quali. But Sammy, he'll go to a 45.8. Oh, big lockdown. That might be the lap blown. He might just bail out of this. Yep, and he has. Well, let's see what Kogo's got. He's got to set a time. He's got under 2 minutes to do it. He's going to have this lap and one more. If he decides to go for the extra lap. And he's actually gone out on the inters. Cross the line now, and it's only good enough for 12. Combine's retired. Let's see if Kogo can make an improvement on it. Axel's still yet to get a valid lap in. Oh no, something's off song there. And Mielzy McJammy Dodge thinks that he's done enough, and he, to be fair, may very well have done enough. It's a 1.3, so it's a 1.6 second gap to P2. So I think he's probably done enough. Also, Gear's having technical issues. My final lap. What can Axel get in? Can he qualify inside the top 10? That's a big question. If he can do that, he's on for a solid race. Oh, he's gone all right. He's gone P9. He's pipped a few people. Sammy coming across the line now, and Sammy will go to pole position. He's actually done it. He's actually pipped Mielzy. And it's not something that you see very often. So the gamble on the inters paid off. A big gamble on the inter for Sammy, but it paid off. As we get ready for the 10-lap sprint race here at China, will the weather be nice to us? Will it be wet? We'll find out shortly anyway. No, it looks like it will be a dry sprint race. All right, here we go. 5 red lights coming to life for the sprint. And we are away racing. All right, here we go. Sammy leads them through. He's managed to retain the lead. And McJammy already under siege. As it's getting 2-3 wide in the background. And that was a big launch from Gears trying to get around the outside of him. So far, looks like everyone's through cleanly, or maybe we've spoken too soon. There's damage on that car. No, the car looks okay. Might have just been a lockup. Meanwhile, back at the top end of town. Going to be a very interesting fight here. DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. And Sammy trying to break the toe down the back straight. And here comes Meowsy. He's going to go for it. They both lock up. Meowsy had the inside line. And Sammy's had to yield a bit, and MS3 and KB have gone past Soulmate. And Kogo's gone past Soulmate. I think something's happened there. Oh, it looks like he just got left out to dry. McJammy with the fast slap, 36.3. DRS enabled this lap. Oh, someone going very, very wide there. I think that may have been Gears. Oh, Sammy's lost a plethora of positions there. So my mistake, it was Sammy, not Gears. The Williams and the RB, from a distance, actually look quite similar. Now, what can Gears do to try and get past Meowsy, whilst he's also got Data in that Aston Martin right behind him? Gaps out to 0.8 of a second. He's got to stay within a second, otherwise it could be curtains. And at the detection point is 0.9, so only just on DRS. Here we go. It looks like the top 3 are going to be in their singular battle group, and then it's pretty split after that. Little bit of a lock there from McJammy through the hairpin. And Gears will get another helping of DRS down this main straight. And it's actually Data who set the fastest lap now, a 33.4. So Meowsy's got to watch out a bit. He's got 2 charging cars behind him. Now, if Meowsy can break the gap, he'll be away to the races. And just a note as well, KB starting from 14th is actually all the way up to 9th now. So he's managed to do some damage limitation so far. Right, gap is 0.6 to Gears. It's coming down, albeit only little by little. So keeping Meowsy honest. They're about to hit the DRS zone again. It looks like Data's going to go for it straight down the inside of Gears. Oh, and there was contact there. They both went off. Doesn't look like either of them got damaged, though. Also, things are getting feisty at the back as well. As Data's going to try and go for it this time. A little bit of a lock up there from Gears. Data's going to try and go stick it all the way around the outside. It won't work, though. And while these two have started fighting, it's actually allowed Meowsy to pull away. And that was a little bit of a lock up there from Gears. He's managed to come back. But this time, Data's got the move done. Meanwhile, at the polar opposite end of the ground, oh, it looks like Old Mate has got damage on that front wing. Yeah, there is definitely damage. Looks like the end plates come off. How much is that going to be affecting him? Well, the three of them all starting to catch up to Kogo. So Kogo playing a little bit of defense. There's two main battle groups at the moment. It's the top of the field and the bottom of the field. It's a little different to see. And here comes halfback Honda. He's got the DRS. How much can he charge down the straight? Into the braking zone. Kogo with a little bit of a lock up there. And halfback Honda's going to fire it straight down the inside, and it's actually a really good move. It's right up behind Old Mate. So Josh has actually managed to cheekily grab two places. Oh, and Josh has had a big spin. Oh, that's no good. And back at the top end of town, looks like Meowsy's managed to pull away from Gears, but also looks like MJ's managed to catch up to that group of Gears and Data. And it looks like he may be taking Sammy with him. Oh, big lock up from Meowsy all the way to the apex. Oh, and looks like something's happened to Old Mate. Quite sure if that was that might just be a disconnect. Also, the Red Bulls are coming through the field. KB now up to 7th after starting in 14th. And this is only the sprint race. We're on lap 6 now. Oh, looks like Kogo's had a little bit of a spin. Looks like MJ and Sammy trying to catch up to Data and Gears. Data on DRS. Gonna try and stick it down the outside. It's not gonna happen. A lot of smoke. A lot of locked brakes there. That's gonna be eating the tires as well. And Data's still trying to find a way through. Gear's actually doing a really good. Gear's actually doing a really good job of defending this right now as well. Oh boy. Just as we say that, Gears almost loses it. Laps are ticking down now, and McJammy pretty much has this race sewn up. And this time Data's going to go for it. He's going to go to the inside. And he's going to be able to block the apex. And get it done. Now will Gears have an answer for him down the main straight? I don't think that Gears does. Now, big question is, can Data, in the 3 laps that we have remaining, bring in that almost 4-second gap? Well, he's going to need to do it quickly. Not a lot of time left in the sprint. And still Meowsy pulling away. And the less used tires will probably have a bit to do with that. They won't have worn as badly, because he hasn't really had to fight anyone. Meanwhile, KB has moved up to 6th place. Which is a solid effort given where he started. And it looks like Gears are going to try and go right around the outside. They both lock their brakes. Switchback is on. Oh, big slide though at the exit. That's going to have cost Gears. Looks like just that front left of Gears is worn just a little more, but the rear tires are actually a bit newer, so it's going to make for an interesting battle between these two. On the stats side of things anyway. Data has better turning, but Gears has better drive out of the turn, so just on the grip stats, so it's going to make it interesting. He's got a lap and a half to do it, and Zoolander's gone past combined. So he's gone all right as well. Now will Gears have an answer down here? Half a second in the gap. Has a think about it, decides better of it. Using all of the track limit there. Final lap of the race now. So if Gears is going to do it, he's got to do it now, and he's going to do it. He's going to send it down the inside. He's going to force Data high and dry. And he's managed to cover off the next apex. So it's a very good move from Gears. But Data's going to come back. They're going to be side by side on the run to the hairpin. So switching back and forth. That was so close. Bit of a lock up there from Data. And Gears has got about 2/3 of a lap to hold on to this P2. And Data's going to continue to attack. They're both right on the limit. Gears trying to break the toe a little bit. And Data's starting to slide as well. And we're on DRS now. And everyone's weaving down the back straight, trying to break that toe. And Gears is going to force Data to go the long way round. And Data's going to say, thank you very much, I'll do just that. And it's going to be an absolute drag race up to the final turn. But no, it looks like Data's got it. And Gears couldn't pip him at the line, but Sammy's managed to pip MJ. And it's a four-way battle here. Oh, and Kogo gets a penalty just at the end of the race. That was just the sprint. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what we have for the main race. And at least Quali is dry this time. Also, this time Halfbake Honda is the first out. We'll see where they set the bar. A good 18 minutes to qualify this time. Just trying to get some heat into those tires. Here we go, first flying lap, and we're on board. We're in the back straight now. Time to maximize the speed and drain that battery. And he's done a 33.9. Now what can MS3 put in? And MS3 is going to do a 32.1. Now old mate coming through. Right on the limit, he's draining the battery. No, the lap's been invalidated. And KB, just out of nowhere, has set a 31. There we go. Zoolander now. And he'll do a 32.4. Old mate just charging the battery. His lap was invalidated. Looks like they're all just on charge laps at the moment. Or maybe not. Looks like halfback Honda trying to improve his lap. Well, it's a slight improvement of the time, but no improvement to position. Right, MS3 coming in. KB just charging the pack up. Old mate about to come through to start his second attempt. We've got Combine and Kogo out on their outlaps. I believe halfback Honda's coming in. KB will be on another lap. Also, Axel's just come out as well. Togo's just started his flying lap. Combine starting his now as well. Newell's also come out. Oldmate draining the battery down the back straight. What can he put in? And Oldmate's put a 33.5 in. KB's managed to bring down to a 31.8. Oh, trying to get a little bit of toe there. Kogo's put on a 35.1, so he's obviously had a moment. And Combine's done a 32.2 flat. Axel on a lap now. Newell's also started his lap. Axel really draining that battery. Oh, he's a little wide of the apex. I don't think it's hurt him. And Axel will go up to P5. Now Newell coming down the back straight. Not a lot of battery left for him, so he's really used it. And how fast is this lap going to be? He's got a bit of traffic coming up. Nails the apex. And Newell's going to go up to P4 with a 32.4. He's about to come through to start his lap. It's a decent start to the lap. Really ringing that thing right now. A little bit of a lock up. That's Meowsy with a 30.6. So on provisional pole by about 1.2 seconds. And will Gears have anything to say about it? Oh, he's missed the apex at the hairpin a little bit. How much is that going to hurt him? Gonna hurt him a little bit. Only a 10th behind Sammy, though. That Zoolander up to 6th place now. Axel trying to improve his lap. Five and a half minutes to go. Using the branch of the road, it would appear. And he'll improve his time, but not his place. Bit of an odd crash there. And old mate now having another crack at it. And MS3 is also retired. There's 2 quality retirements. KB, meanwhile, has improved his time to a 31.5 and is back up to P2. Now, what can old mate do? Really draining the battery down the back straight here. Nails the apex. And he will improve his place and his time. It's a 32.8. And MJ putting in a lap down the back straight, basically drained the battery at this point. We'll see where he can get to. And he'll only go 5th fastest. KB definitely trying to make amends for the sprint quali. Kogo's on a lap. He's trying to get that half second to get past halfback Honda, who has retired from the session. Final runs now. We've got just over 2 minutes. Oh, it looks like it's got a fuel. Looks like it's got a fuel starving problem. Yeah, he's bailed out. Looks like he's run out of fuel. Yeah, he's trying to improve his position. I think Jamie's just sort of walked away with the qualifying. Oh, and Kogo's out of the session. Oh, bit of a slide there from Gears. That might have hurt his lap. "40 seconds remain in the session." Oh, big lockup for Gears. And Gears will go up to P2 with a 31-2. Beats KB out by 3/10. Sammy now on his final lap. Where will Sammy end up? He'll go up to P2 now. And the only other person to break into the 30s. And MJ's just managed to pip KB by 1/10. Final time's coming in now. And Newell up to 6. Combined will go up to 6 and actually pip Newell. And that looks to be quali as McJammy sets a faster 30. Six 1,000's the gap between McJammy and Data. Data just sneaking in there as well. A very tight quality at the front. All right, here we go for 28 laps around China. One will be getting their stress. The one stop and the two stop, both viable here. Depends how aggressive you want to be. Depends if we're going to see a safety car. Clouds looking just a bit grey, so we might even see some wet weather. All right, here we go. 5 red lights coming to light. And we're away racing. And McJammy and Data side by side. They're on the hard tyre. Oh, very close to contact. Oh, I think MS3's had an issue. KB, I think the teammates may have come together. It's 3-4 wide in the background. Getting very feisty. And Data has gone to the lead of the race. It's a bit of a role reversal from the sprint. Oh, a little bit of a slide there for Newell. And it looks like Meowsy having a bit of a slide as well. And he's left himself vulnerable to gears. And we've got yellows in sector 3 now as well. Looks like Axel's had a spin. The top 3 all locking up. All trying to find grip, not a lot of it available. And KB's gone past Zoolander. And it looks like Data now the fastest lap, DRS enabled. And Data just getting a little wide at the moment. KB up to 5th and really trying to fight people off. He's got Combine and Zoolander right behind him, and Newell is catching up at a rate of knots. This is the battle on the medium tyre. The 2 main battle groups at the moment. Looks like MJ's fallen off that front pack. And KB about to be very vulnerable to about 3-4 cars. Immediately he tries to break the toe. And Combine's going to try and go right around the outside. No, he's faded KB. He's made the switchback. And he's actually done a really good job of it because he's got him past him. Unfortunately, it's right before a DRS zone, so KB will be on the DRS. Now, what can Combine do? And there is absolutely nothing, but he's going to block out Zoolander. Zoolander's going to try and send it down the inside. Little bit of a slide from Zoolander. Oh, there's contact. Is there damage, though? No, no damage. And it's going to be an absolute drag race down to the hairpin now. Who can be later on the brakes? And it looks like Zoolander, and there is contact this time. These two getting very feisty. KB's able to bugger off into the distance just a little bit. He's broken the DRS. And Combine now trying to get it back. I think there might be a little more damage to Zoolander's car than Combine's car. We'll be able to find out at 6/10 between them right now. So it's going to be all on in the DRS zone. And KB's been able to bugger off into the distance because of this. Zoolander. No, it looks like Combine just has DRS, so Zoolander won't be able to gain the advantage. A little bit of a lock-up in front of KB. And Zoolander has to take a slight evasive because of a concertina there. Oh, and KB goes sliding off. And that's a 3-second time penalty already. KB the first to get one. It's only lap 4. The KB essentially just took himself out of this fight. Now anything can happen, and it usually does. But that is not going to help his case. He's going to need for these guys behind him, and to be fair, in front of him if he wants to make any more gains to get some penalties. And MJ with a big lock up into the hairpin. It looks like MJ's having a little bit of a problem with the brake pressure because he is locking up quite a bit, and that is going to hurt those tyres. They're not going to last as long as they need to. It's almost every corner at the moment. Oh, big contact between Zoolander and Combine. It's definitely going to be looked into, and I would say Combine's going to have that penalty removed because Combine got absolutely dive-bombed there. Zoolander sent it from about two postcodes back. there is more than likely going to be a protest about that. That will definitely result in damage for Combine's car, as well as the penalty. Yep, Combines had to go in. I'd say the front wing's buggered. Yep, the front wing was completely destroyed, so he's had to come in for that. So yeah, that will definitely be getting looked at. Meanwhile, KB's managed to put a bit of a gap between himself and Newell. So KB is in a little bit of clear air and can now focus on the race ahead. He can focus on catching up to MJ. Meanwhile, old mate is right on the back of Newell, just a little bit further back. So this could get a bit feisty. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3, so something's happened. Looks like it's cleared now, thankfully, so no safety car. Seven-tenths the gap from old mate to Newell. We'll see just what old mate can do. He is actually catching that gap up a little bit. Newell a little wiggly out of the second part of the turn there. That's going to give old mate a little bit of a run. He's going to be able to bring that gap in a little bit. And on DRS now, Kogo's also gone into the pits. He's opted for the medium tyre, so probably doing the two-stop strat. And old mate now is going to be on DRS. Can he close it down? Well, he's gaining. Newell having a little bit of an issue at corner exit. But only just on DRS. What can old mate do down the main straight? We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 as well. Looks to be cleared now. The old mate able to just bring it into the turns a little smoother, but looks like he was a little quicker on the exit. And everybody starting to generate gaps. These three at the front really the only ones fighting. As Gears leads the race in that V-carb. Having to charge the battery now as well. So let's see what McJammy can get. Has a look, decides better of it. Really quite tight at the front here, but everybody's on such equal pace. It's so hard for anyone to get a distinct advantage right now.
Did you know you can make custom puzzles with your Cricut?
Gonna get pretty feisty at the front. About 0.5 between the top three right now, so gonna get a little feisty. It looks like Gears is just extending the gap. Not enough to bring it out of DRS. McJammy again trying to have a look, but no dice there. A bit of a lockup from Gears. These three have been nose to tail basically all race. I really think this is going to come down to strat. Who boxes first and who responds. And it looks like Data trying to have a crack at McJammy as well. All three of them now saving the battery. So they're all just very equally matched. Looks like they are starting to catch up to the back of the field as well, so we could... And looks like we've got an issue in Sector 2. And looks like the issue has cleared itself. Or not. Who's having issues? Oh! There it is, and it's... Oh, looks like Old Mate having issues again. And meanwhile, it's getting a little more feisty at the front as side by side go through Data and McJammy, and Gears definitely wants to stay involved in this. So this three-way fight has got a lot more feisty now. And they've all sort of realised the urgency of, hey, we are catching up to a back marker, and whoever's in the lead when they catch up, if it's near a DRS zone, is going to have a distinct advantage. And right now that leader is Gears. He's trying to pull that gap out. It's not pulling out as much as he'd like. It's only at 4/10, and at that only just. There's Kogo in the foreground as the leaders come flying up toward him. But they're not quite close enough on this occasion for it to benefit Data. And Gears now is probably going to have a crack in the DRS zone. It's 3.5 tenths. And Kogo is just keeping his car well out of the way. Must be fully aware of how close these guys are. And through goes Gears. They head down toward the hairpin. Gears is going to cover off. A little bit of a lock-up into the hairpin. And at that, it looks like in the background, Sammy's managed to get past KB. It looks like Gears is fully able to defend the DRS, and KB into the pits now. Right, we'll check this out, see how good a stop it is. Kogo's also come in. Oh, and it's not a good look. For whatever reason, he was held. I don't know, maybe he's going to get the clutch engaged. He didn't need to take a new front wing, so that's not really worked out terribly well for him. The only saving grace will be if the leaders have been able to go through. And looks like Kogo's got some sort of issue. This could actually be a hardware issue. He's going really slow right now. This could end up being a retirement. I think this might very well be a hardware issue. He doesn't need to pull over for lap cars because he'll ghost anyway. Yeah, something's very, very wrong with that car. Yeah, there's good. Meanwhile, Newell's gone into the pits, and this battle at the top end of town. But yeah, something's not right with Kogo's car. I dare say it's got to be a hardware issue. He's got to watch it, though, because he's trundling right now. And that in itself could trigger a safety car. The data leads from Gears, but it's very, very close. See what Gears can get done. These boys are entering Sector 3, so they've got to be careful as well. And look at the power of the DRS. And he can get pulled up in time. Yep, and Kogo's out of the race. So that is definitely a hardware issue. Caution Sector 2, Sector 3. It's only in Sector 3 now. Just trying to get eyes on this in Sector 1. Safety car has not been deployed yet. And Gears, meanwhile, is back to the lead of the race. And it looks like it is completely clear now. We are about to reach the halfway point in the race as well. And Gears really, really trying to defend this. First time that we've actually seen a race with McJammy in it where he hasn't peeled off into the distance. So this is probably going to be a feisty second half of the race, especially once pit stops start. Now these hard runners, they'll be hoping for a safety car. Sammy's gone in now. He's the last of the medium runners to come in. So this is where it's gonna get a little bit interesting on the strategy. How long can these guys at the front make their hards efficiently last? Because I would say that they are getting very, very close to needing to come in. Especially with how hard they've been fighting as well. And looks like Data's going to go through on DRS. Now, see, here would be a prime opportunity for either Meowsy or Gears to actually duck into the pits. And to be fair, if it were me in Meowsy's position, I would duck in. Neither of the three of them have, though. Pit window is open. I would have actually dived in to get the undercut. Especially if I was Meowsy, because he could get a little cheeky with it. We know the hards can last to the end from the... Sorry, the mediums can last to the end from this point. The medium drivers have already made that abundantly clear. Now, the one thing that's combined is probably going to need to come through the pits again. I don't know if his hard tyres can actually last. Surprisingly, we've not seen a safety car here in China. Like Zoolander and KV getting a bit feisty. KV's tyre's a little older than Zoolander, so we'll see what happens here. KV really defending quite hard. And it's just a testament to how little grip there is on this track, really. Because there is normally a substantial pace difference between these two. So... Oh, and it looks like Data is the first to pull the trigger. He's in. Oh boy, look at how close Zoolander and KB are. It looks like Zoolander's the one on DRS and trying to break the toe. And KB will have none of that. KB feints it. He's going to go right down the inside. And we've got another caution in sector 3. KB's going to try and cover off, and looks like he's done a decent job of it. Right, but the big question is still the top end of town. What are these boys going to do? Are they going to come in this lap? Oh, both sliding on. Axel's retired. That's a crash that could call out a safety car. They've both come in. And MJ's also in. And what's the gap going to look like? And there's no safety car. This gap is probably going to be quite sufficient. Nobody on the exit. So Data's absolutely cooked on the strategy. And it's about a 4-second gap. Because the overcut definitely does not work here at China. Meanwhile, back to the KB Zoolander battle. Now, what can KB do going into turn 1? Is he going to hold station? Looks like he is. Try to send it around the outside. Nothing going there. Back straight's probably going to be the best place for KB to have him. Almost 4.5 seconds gap, just by the way, between first and second now. And it looks like Data set the fastest lap at 33.4 on those mediums. And Old Mate now's got a penalty. Little bit of a lock-up from KB. Like Zoolander went a little wide, but KB got a little squirrely on the exit. Everybody's really struggling for grip right now. Looks like Zoolander's out of battery. KB's going to go down the inside. And nothing that can be done about that. KB has a big lockup. And it was a rear tyre lockup of all things. It would have been a very scary moment. KB trying to make amends for the sprint race. He's definitely had a tough race in the feature here as well. In a really decent quali. But he's just, for whatever reason, really struggled. And Gears now fast slapping the V-carb, so Gears trying to make some distance on Data. KB now on DRS. Is he close enough though? I don't think he is. I think he's just going to have to take the toe. A little bit cleaner on the exit this time though. Size better of it. It looks like Zoolander gets a little squirrely on the brakes. KB having a look because he was invited. He can't force a drag race to the hairpin. This is probably going to be the battle of the race right here. KB going to try and go all the way around the outside. And you know, it might even work. They're side by side. But Zoolander's going to get the DRS. KB's able to cover off the apex. Nice little block pass there from KB. Now what can Zoolander do? Oh, and it's a BSC. Will this trigger any pit stops? Yes, KB's gone in. And a little hot as well. Oh, Newell's got a penalty for speeding under the VSC. So what is KB going on to? KB is switching out. And it looks like KB's on the mediums. He's had to wait for traffic. Oh, KB just can't have any luck in the stops, can he? Looks like Old Mate's also coming. So is Zoolander. So it's definitely triggered a couple of stops further back. Oh, and it looks like Half-Baked Honda has decided to retire and call it a day. It looks like we are back to full racing speed as well. Combines in the pits. And so it's Newell. Newell's going to try and serve that penalty now, I reckon. It also won't hurt getting on a fresh set of tyres. We'll see just where Newell comes out. Oh no, it's just a flat. It's just a flat drive-through. Looks like MS3 is going to be able to take advantage of that. Looks like Gears and McJammy still fighting. And meanwhile, they are both managing to catch up to Data. That gap is actually now down to 3.5 seconds as McJammy has a little bit of a lock up into the hairpin. So the gap is coming down. Looks like Gears is starting to lose a little bit of pace though. So maybe the tyres wearing out just a little bit quicker than McJammy's. Everyone else sort of settling into a little bit of a rhythm. No real... Oh, mind you, this battle could be back on because it looks like KB has caught back up to Zoolander. KB definitely looking a lot more comfortable on those medium tyres. He's trying to find a way past Zoolander now. They have 23 of 28 and all we've had is a virtual safety car. And KB putting Zoolander under all sorts of pressure right now. I think KB might just be waiting for this DRS zone that's coming up. Zoolander trying to break the toe. KB's got the DRS wide open. KB's going to opt to the outside. Deep dive. It's going to hold it around the outside. And it's going to be a drag race now. And I think KB's managed to get the job done, and he has. But what can the Hearts of Zoolander do? Can he come back at him? And KB's used a lot of battery because he's having to charge it. Zoolander going to try and go right around the outside. Had second thoughts about it. Didn't really like the gap. They both might be saving battery now. They have been fighting for a fair few laps. Now, can KB break it? Almost at 6 cents, almost at 7. It is at 7 now. But it's not quite going to be enough to break it by the detection point, I don't think. And Old Mate now with yet another penalty. Managed to hang with KB. 4 tenths the gap. We'll see what Zoolander can do this time. And now it is the status quo because Zoolander just exceeded the track limits. They've both got penalties, so now it really is a fight for position. Got 4 laps to go. Meanwhile, at the top of town, that gap has come down to 2.3 seconds, so this could be on at the end of the race. And yep, looks like Data's definitely having to save the battery right now. And McJammy is closing that gap down, and he's got Gears hot on his heels. This battle is still hotting up and getting feisty. KB having a look right around the outside. No go there. KB trying to force the drag race right now. Oh, and KB off the track. And Gears, meanwhile, has gone past McJammy. 3 laps to go now. See, McJammy and Gears, they need to stop fighting each other at this point. We are getting to the closing stage of the race. They need to stop fighting each other so they can have a volley at the lead of the race. Because otherwise, Data is going to be able to run away with this. And we've seen this happen time and time again. At this point, this is why you got to think big picture. Because they're now down to 1.3 seconds. If you work together, this won't be a problem, and you should actually have them in the next DRS zone. The tyres are a lap older, so they're starting to degrade just a little bit more. Down to 1.1. It could be on here. And it is on, only just. And now this is where it's going to turn into a three-way fight for the lead. Because Data's also low on battery. Or at least he is lower on battery. And that is a distinct tactical issue for Data right now. Now the lead, the Data is down to 0.8 seconds. He's got a lap and a half to go. It's down to 0.6. It's going to be on here. These three are going to be fighting all the way to the finish. And with how well these three have been racing, any one of these three can win it. Oh, Gears has a big issue. He's going to lose the place to McJammy. He had a big slide there. And Data's also had to slide out in the final turn, though not nearly as bad. That's probably going to have overheated Gears' rear tyres as well. That was a massive slide. 0.7 of a second between the top three as well. Final lap of the race. It's all to play for now. Can Data hold off McJammy? Can Gears be the guy to jump from third up into first and scare the boys at the top end of town? Or could we see MJ sneak a win if these three have a massive incident with each other? Speaking of incidents, we've got one in Sector 2. Cleared now, so it's back to fighting. All to play for now. Final full DRS zone of the lap. So Data's got to hang on. They're all probably going to use everything here. And they're going to go 3 wide down to the hairpin. Data's been absolutely swamped. McJammy's outbraked himself as well. It's a real fight to the finish. And that's it. That is race over. It'll be Data, Gears, McJammy. And probably a little bit of dangerous driving looked into at the end there as well. Especially with that AI not ghosting that. Yeah, that could be a bit of an issue. Just waiting for everyone else to finish. It looks like MS3 and Newell are going to be fighting to the finish as well. MS3 covers the apex. Nice little bit of defense there from MS3. Might be able to finish ahead of Newell here. Not really a lot that Newell can do about it. And that will be race. That will be us done for another week. So the podium at China is Data, Gears, and McJammy. McJammy's first non-attended race win of the season. 11 finishes out of 14 starters. And I tell you what, that man right there definitely does deserve driver of the day after everything that happened with him. So champagne and celebrations for China, and we will see you all next week at Japan.